What boys? Anime. Gang gang! Alright, let's get something straight. American culture is prevalent across the globe. Ever since childhood, I, alongside with millions, billions of other children, have been exposed to American culture, American goodness in form of movies, in form of video games, music, and so on and so forth. So when I was a child and watching all those movies about gangsters and playing GTA and or Saints Row and all the other video games, listening to gangster rap or whatever else, it was just entertainment for me, and I never looked at those things as nothing much bigger than just some game that everybody seems to be playing. And I always felt like people are playing into those stereotypes that have been set some time ago, or they have just all accepted this joke or this game, and everybody in the movies and just in the world is playing along. Everybody is making content, making different art around this topic of gangsterisms. So with other boys, whether it be at school or just outside in the streets, we played this game as well. We went about gangbanging and saying yo CJ and Grove Street.
I'm gangster.
Whatever we saw in the movies, monkey see, monkey do, we were doing the same thing, just like I'm sure people, well, all around the globe, well, let's say children to be exact. And for the big part of my life, I was just watching this phenomenon happen somewhere in a different world, where they decided that that is one of the things that they want to cover and showcase in pop culture. Then, when I turned 15 years old, I went to live in the USA for a year. I went to live in Michigan. And in my school, I met some guys who taught me different gang signs and who taught me a gang handshake. And I just thought, wow, they're playing this game too. That's crazy. So I went around my American school, greeting them via my gang handshakes, throwing up those gang signs which they taught me, and laughing at it because it was just a game I was partaking in. Fast forward a year later, I came back to Russia and started getting a little bit more into American culture, pop culture included, because prior to that I had not really been interested in the culture of the USA. I hadn't really learned anything deeper than the superficial level, than the things I had seen on TV or in rare music which I had heard, or video games, of course. I think that was my biggest source of information. So as I'm getting more into American hip hop, American movies and YouTube, therefore into American blogs and news, I'm starting to learn more and more about this game that everybody seems to be playing, and I'm learning that there is more content to this game. I'm finding out that now there is slang, which I can use very cool slang. So I start saying, "What's up, blood? What's up, cuz?" On Creep. Then I find out about two biggest organizations, one red, one blue, and I find out that ones replace B with C, the others do the opposite. So I start saying the words like Buzzy, so my world just turns upside down. The game is getting more and more fun to me. And then as I'm watching some YouTube videos or NBA highlights, I start seeing some cool combinations that they do with their fingers, like some ninjutsu type of stuff. So all those things put together, the language, the bright colors, the huge representation in media, in music, and all that stuff which I just mentioned, I don't even want to say it. It looks almost festive. It looks like a carnival. It looks like the coolest phenomenon I have ever seen. But then I told you, as I was immersing more and more into culture and learning more and more information about all that stuff, I started realizing that people are not really playing, are they? They were really doing some criminal activities behind those colors, behind this facade, which I was looking at and admiring and having fun with, I realized that behind all that, all those dances, the creep walks and blood walks, there are actual horrible crimes performed. There are actual initiation rituals during which people have to do some horrible things. And that's when my mind just gave out. That's when it was completely blown. I caught the biggest cognitive dissonance ever. I could not realize how such thing could exist with all this flesh that there is to it. There are also horrible things happening, and if it's real on such scale that it is represented in all sorts of art and media, it's a huge problem for a country then. If all those things which I was looking at turned out to be not a game but a reality, how, Sway? I mean, to me it's just insane. I can't imagine anything like that happening here. Of course, we must have some criminal organizations, I suppose. No country really is completely free and pure of them. At least here, nobody is really all in your face with what they do, and they don't wear any specific clothes to showcase what they are. And regular people don't really know about what's going on. It's not represented in the movies or in music especially. Of course, in the movies you can see stereotypical Russian bandits or gangsters, but we see the same thing too. Let's be honest, they do not really look much different from, let's say, Irish gangster, or if the gangster was from Australia. There are no attributes which are specific to them. It was also baffling to me how many people actually represented their gangs. It was all right as long as I thought that it was just a game and some type of agreement between everybody that is a thing which we are doing. But when it turned out to be real, the thing stopped making sense at all. And I don't really know on what scale these things are real out there. And I don't even know if those guys in my school were teaching me those gang signs and handshakes for real, or were they just also influenced by all the stuff which they saw in the media. I have no idea how many actual gangsters there are, what percentage of population are gangsters. But it's just a crazy contrast, isn't it? To me, it seems like if you do criminal activity, you should remain low-key. It should be somewhat underground, and regular people must think that everything is okay, and they must not even suspect that something criminal or something illegal is taking place at the moment. Whereas in the States, it's happening so openly. Maybe you can let me know in the comments if there is a real problem out there, or if it's just blown out of proportion by all this content which is available nowadays. Well, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like. If you love me, go ahead, subscribe to this channel. Follow me on social media at iGroove, and I will see you in another video. Toodles!